YouTube, what's going on? We're talking Auburn football and in the deep south where college football is king. Also in East Alabama where Auburn University rests, the battle cry is War Eagle. Let's get this thing going here on Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. Let's go ahead and get the comment section active. Get a lot of information from there. Want to give a shout out to my fearless and true gang. If you're affiliated with Auburn in any sense, form, or fashion, you know what fearless and true is all about. Let's get the conversation going. War Eagle. Ongoing conversation about the Advocare Classic. Also the quarterback battle at Auburn University going into the 2019 season. A lot of moving parts for Auburn. We also are looking at on the back end as recruiting is still prevalent for the Auburn Tigers. Currently ranked number 29 in the country, hoping to recover a lot of that after the infamous Big Cat weekend, which will be coming pretty soon. Also, we look over into Eugene, Oregon, as they just acquired Chris Steele from Florida. Oregon, of course, Auburn's opponent going into the Advocare Classic, a lot of moving parts there as well. So in mid-May, you would think that football would be somewhat of an afterthought, but not so fast. In the Deep South, this is pretty much what we talk about on an ongoing basis is college football, especially in the SEC. And I'm just going to assume the SEC. I'm pretty sure ACC fans and others talk about it as well, but I'm biased to the SEC because that is what I know. War Eagle. Today we're going to be talking about Bo Nix. And who is Bo Nix? First of all, who is Bo Nix versus what we want Bo Nix to potentially be? Now, when I look at Bo Nix on video, I see a lot of very versatile skill set. Now, let's kind of rewind this thing a little bit. Now, when you think about Auburn's success on a high level, you're talking about 2 national championship appearances, winning one in 2010. You also talk about 2 SEC appearances, winning both, one in 2010 and one in 2013. What was the common denominator? The common denominator was a dual threat to the core quarterback in Cam Newton in 2010, eventual Heisman Trophy winner, also the number 1 pick of the NFL draft in 2011. Also, you talk about Nick Marshall, who was probably more dual threat of a quarterback than he accentuates the term dual threat quarterback. I mean, that you just can't mention Nick Marshall as a quarterback and not mention dual threat, because he epitomized what that meant. Very exciting to watch, very ingenuitive. So when you think about Auburn over the past few years, when you have a position that, garnish you that level of success and you remember what that was like, there's some emotion tied to that. So most of what you're going to hear with Auburn fan base, at least in my opinion, is he a dual threat quarterback? Because we know a dual threat quarterback produces championships. Okay, kind of thought, kind of hoping John Franklin would be that guy. Just wasn't. Malik Willis turns out probably is not going to be the guy either. He is not even on the favorites list for the coaching staff. As of now, you have Joey Gatewood and Bo Nix as the 2 presumed potential starters for the Auburn Tigers. If you look at the fan base and you look at a lot of the comments in the section, it appears that the initial favorite to start would be Joey Gatewood, because we feel that Joey Gatewood is a viable dual threat quarterback. He wants to run the football. He has similarities to he's garnished similarities to Cam Newton. Appears to have that dual threatish tendency that the Auburn fan base craves, because Auburn desperately wants to get back to that level of relevancy in the 2010 and 2013 years. But when we talk about Bo Nix, there's a very intriguing skill set for him, because when you look at media outlets, 24/7, ESPN, things of that nature, you look at, on one end, he's the number one dual threat quarterback, and then on the other end, he might be the number one pro style quarterback. So, you think about it, like, what really is his identity as a quarterback? Now, video review shows, a high level of versatility from Bo Nix. When I think about Bo Nix, I think of Johnny Manziel, who played at Texas A&M a few years ago and won a Heisman Trophy, pretty much took the SEC by storm because of his unique skill set. Now, before you guys beat me up real bad in the comment section, I'm going to tell you why. Johnny Manziel possessed the ability to be a pro-style quarterback, but he had high-level dual threat tendencies. If you look at even some of Bo Nix's runs, no, he's not trying to be Cam Newton and bang it out and, get 3 or 4 yards per rush. When he runs the ball, it is very impactful. And it's usually 20 or more yards. This is Bo Nix now. It's usually 20 or more yards, and he doesn't get hit very hard. He finds ways to avoid contact. That's the difference with Bo Nix. He actually has the ability to be a dual threat quarterback, but he's really not going to be the physical guy that you want in this situation. Now, if you want to hybrid a guy in Bo Nix, I would go out on a limb and say, you could hybrid, say, Johnny Manziel and Bo Nix together. And Johnny Manziel, I'm sorry. If you're going to hybrid a guy, you're going to hybrid Jarrett Stidham and Johnny Manziel together, and you'll get something like Bo Nix. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Bo Nix is a better passer, honestly, than either of the two, which makes him so unique skill set wise as a quarterback. Because I think when we start to want Bo Nix to be like a Cam Newton or a Nick Marshall or Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts, I think we're limiting what Bo Nix potentially brings to the table. An excellent passer. He makes the intermediate throws very well. He can fit those passes, I believe, that Jarrett Stidham just couldn't make for the Auburn Tigers. And potentially be an elite quarterback. You look at his foot movement, he's very well coached. He has a lot of interesting and unique pocket presence that can turn into a pass downfield. He's very patient, though. He wants the pass to come into crystallization. However, he will run the football if he has to. You're talking about between 4.5, 4.6 40, very high-level in-game speed for Bo Nix. So I think we need to diversify our, synopsis of Bo Nix. He's not just a dual-threat quarterback. He's not the typical guy that you can just categorize as a dual-threat quarterback. Now, Joey Gatewood, yes, you can. He has some limited passing ability, very great at running the football, but definitely does not have in my opinion, the diversity skill set wise as Bo Nix that will translate to a high level in the NFL. I can see Bo Nix with his skill set and with his command and with his leadership abilities. I could see that being translated over to the NFL, because you have a lot of high-level guys that can throw the football very well. Well, you talk about guys like Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, guys of that nature who have really created some ingenuity in the game of football on a high level. Now, the biggest question for me for Bo Nix is, the physicality. He's not going to be that guy that's, a design run play for 3 or 4 yards. He's going to be more so like what we see on film. When he runs the football, it's outside basically. Plus, sometimes he does some, design quarterback draws, which at least on the high school level didn't garnish a lot of contact for Bo Nix. But when he starts talking about playing in the SEC, those hits from defensive linemen and linebackers are going to add up. Of course, we can reference an ankle injury, fractured ankle from Bo Nix, which hampered his 2017 season. I don't think Bo Nix's skill set is predicated around being just a dual threat quarterback. He has way more skill and he has way more versatility, which in my opinion garnishes more of a Johnny Manziel-ish, maybe a Russell Wilson-ish type quarterback. He's going to be a very good quarterback at Auburn nonetheless. Not too sure if he gets the starting position. I'm favoring Joey Gatewood because of the experience and the physicality leading into the Advocare Classic. But when I talk about how Bo Nix could actually accentuate the talent around him long term, I think he's the favorite. Honestly, I think if he had any level of experience, this would not be a controversy. All right, guys, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this Bo. What do you think of Bo Nix? Do you think he's a dual threat quarterback? Do you think he's a pro style quarterback? Or do you think he's extra versatile to where he can take this Auburn offense to a whole nother level? Go ahead and put that thing in the comment section. Go ahead and like this video. And as always, I appreciate the subscriptions. Go ahead and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Until next time, which might be this afternoon, War Eagle.